The Miami Dolphins may have luck on their side. And this is not me rooting for an injury, but hey, we got to talk about the injury news surrounding the New England Patriots because their best player, in my opinion, a top 3 corner in the NFL, Christian Gonzalez, is likely going to be out for this Week 2 matchup. We actually talked about it earlier last week before Week 1 because the Jets suffered a major injury on their offensive line, and Gonzalez still isn't back. He's had a hamstring injury for a very long time, and he's been unable to get back onto the field for the New England Patriots. As you see my water bottle there, whoopsie-doos. But the more information on Gonzalez, he's been out since July 28th. He was a DNP at Patriots practice, on Wednesday and Thursday. And some more information on this hamstring injury that Gonzalez has. About 41% of players that suffer a hamstring injury return within a week. Another 41% return within 1 to 3 weeks, leaving 18% of players not returning within 3 weeks. It's about 6 weeks now? 5 at least. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on in New England, but how is Christian Gonzalez's hamstring injury not healed? Either way, this is big-time stuff for Miami. And make sure you subscribe and join us for our Week 2 Dolphins Patriots watch party. We will be live for this game as Miami hosts New England. We'll be live an hour before kickoff, so noon Eastern time, 11 a.m. Central time. This is our watch party thumbnail, so if you see it, click on it and join me and Coop. Gonzalez is an absolute difference maker, man. He is. Last year, he had an all-pro level season, allowing just 55% completion percentage, only 2 touchdowns, and a QB rating when targeted of 70.5. Simply put, I'll continue to say it, I think he's a top 3 corner in football. I think it's Patrick Surtain, number 1, without a shadow of doubt. But I put Gonzalez, if I'll be real, at number 2, slightly edging out players like J.C. Horn, like Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner. That's how confident and good I think Christian Gonzalez is. And the question is, who is up next for this Patriots secondary? Because their secondary was projected to be a strength of their team after they signed Carlton Davis to a massive contract in NFL free agency. Well, those two have not played together just yet. And the next man up on the boundary would likely be Alex Austin. Their captain, Marcus Jones, is a nickel corner pretty much through and through. And that Patriots secondary really struggled last week against the Las Vegas Raiders. By the way, a passing attack, which, yes, they have Brock Bowers. Yes, they have Geno Smith. Wide receiver core of Jacoby Myers, Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker. They don't have a good receiving core. So the fact that that secondary got carved up tells me without Gonzo, it's for the taking. And this stat further proves that. How about this? The New England Patriots last week allowed 9 receptions for 20 yards or more. It was without a question the most amount of 20-yard receptions allowed in the NFL. My point, I get the O-line for Miami may be a concern with Keon Smith and Larry Borum subbing in for James Daniels and Austin Jackson. But if the Dolphins' passing attack of Tua, Tyreek, Malik, Waddle don't take advantage of this weak secondary without their best player that got torched last week by the Raiders, I honestly think all hope will be lost. I know we're a quick passing game because the offensive line can't hold up for an extended period of time. But you have to take advantage of a weak secondary without its best player. You just do. Have to. No excuses. Who you got in this game? Pin comment on today's show. Type MIA for the Dolphins. Type NE for the Patriots. Who y'all got? Big game for both teams. 0-1. Both of them looking to get to 1-1. I just want to show some more stats on this Patriots secondary. Their EPA per pass was 25th in football. Dolphins was worse, by the way, but it was bad for New England. Their YAC over expectation was 30th in football. Their passing yards per play it allowed, 30th in football. Now, their average separation in terms of Raiders wide receivers separating from their corners was 12th best, so actually was in the top half, but they were bottom 10 in EPA, YAC allowed, and yard per play allowed on pass attempts. The point is, O-line, I'm begging you, please hold up. Just give Tua 2.5 seconds. I'm not asking for 3. I'm just asking for the league average 2.5. You give me a league average, and we're going to be able to cook. Because that secondary simply can't hold up. Look at the difference in their quick passes to the long passes, which 2.5 is that separator. Under 2.5 seconds, quick passing game. Still ranked in the bottom half, 16th in EPA, 25th in YAC, 21st in yards per play allowed. But on long passes, so when the Raiders offensive line gave Geno Smith time to set his feet, dissect the defense, wide receivers work downfield, they were 29th worst, or 29th in EPA, 29th in YAC, 30th in yards per play. Point is, offensive line hold up. Tua, hold up. Tua, I'm begging you. I am begging. Please do not do what you did last week. What am I referring to? Happy feet, scared, panicky in the pocket. Too many times, he was nervous, he got scared, he came off, he just threw it to his first read right away for a 3-yard gain. Or he would come off of his first read, panic, inaccurate throws. Confident, stay in the pocket, move your feet in the pocket, give yourself throwing lanes, and dial up balls in the intermediate and deep down the field. Because I promise you, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill will be open. More to come here in a second, but get started with Ethos, today's sponsor. And in this day and age, you can't take anything for granted. When you lose someone close to you, you can't help but think about the future. With life insurance through Ethos, your family is protected. Life insurance is a perfect way to make sure you're covered, can help pay the mortgage or your kids' college tuition. Right now, you can get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. Life insurance is more affordable than you think. With Ethos, you can get a free quote and customize a rate that fits your budget. The process is 100% online with no medical exam required. Just answer a few health questions and get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage already. So join the millions, protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That is ethos.com/NFL Daily. Now, I know we just spent a lot of time talking about the secondary and Christian Gonzalez injury, but there are a couple other injuries that I want Dolphins fans to monitor. Harold Landry, who had 2.5 sacks in Week 1 for the New England Patriots, their prized pass rushing addition this offseason. He is questionable with a foot injury. Was a DNP on Wednesday, limited participant on Thursday. So he's likely going to play, but he is questionable. Same thing could be said for Morgan Moses, the starting right tackle for the New England Patriots. He was a DNP on Wednesday, like Landry with a foot injury, and then returned to practice on Thursday as a limited participant. So 2 key starters outside of Gonzalez, both questionable for this game. I think both of them ultimately end up playing, but it does seem like the best player on that team, Christian Gonzalez, is not going to. All right, let's segue from the injury news from New England to the injury news for the Miami Dolphins. One that is going to drive you up a wall if you are not aware already. I tweeted it out on Thursday. Darren Waller did not practice again. And I will be abundantly clear for the gazillionth time. Cut his ass. Get him out of the organization. I hate him. Hate's a strong word, but that's how I feel. I've said it before. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I don't know what more evidence is required for this organization to move off of him. He is stealing money from the team. I can't believe the incompetence shown by this organization to not only trade for this guy who was retired last year, but still allow this to continue throughout Week 2. He should be cut already. And you know who should be on the team? Greg Dulcich, the former second-day pick out of UCLA, who balled out for the Giants this preseason. Tanner Conner stinks. Darren Waller is MIA. Julian Hill Terrible. Bring Dulcich to the 53-man. I can't do it anymore. Sorry if that was a little too harsh. Omar Kelly with the note that good news here. Jalen Wright participated in practice on Thursday. Now, it was a very limited involvement, but this is good news. And on the injury report Thursday for Miami, he was upgraded from a DNP to a limited participant, putting him not on track to play this week against New England, but it could be a signal that Jalen Wright may actually be ready to roll in week 3, against the Buffalo Bills. Now, yes, it's a little bit of a shorter turnaround, and it would have been nice to have an extra 3 days of recovery for Wright next Sunday rather than a Thursday week 3 game. But at worst, Jalen Wright will be back for week 4 against the Jets on Monday Night Football, which was the expectation, because if they expected him to miss 4 games, then they would have just placed him on IR. They didn't do that. So I believe he will be ready for week 4 without a question in my mind. But the real question is he actually on the upward trajectory towards playing in week 3 against the Buffalo Bills? Couple other injuries to note. On Thursday, Austin Jackson was a DNP, and so was Benito Jones. Jackson dealing with a toe injury, Jones dealing with an oblique. Both of these guys will probably not be playing. Jackson for sure. Benito Jones is more of a projection for me. I just don't often see a player leave a game in the week prior, be a DNP in practice on Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, and then be ready to play on Sunday. So both will be out this week, in my opinion. We know who the replacements are. Larry Borum is going to be playing right tackle for Miami. He did the entire preseason when Jackson was out with injury. And then you'll see a combination of the rookies, Zeke Biggers, Jordan Phillips, Kenneth Grant. Those 3 will be the replacements for Benito Jones in rotation at that defensive lineman spot, next to Zach Sealer, and at that nose tackle spot. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Appreciate everybody watching here on this Friday morning. Join us on Sunday for Dolphins Patriots NFL Week 2 action. We will be live an hour before the game, so make sure you subscribe and click on this thumbnail for an awesome watch party viewing experience this upcoming Sunday.